this is Sandy, Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, and this is my Thursday night live. 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and, depending on where else you live in the world, you can figure it out. So, exciting. This episode is called 9 Days and Counting. Why? Because in 9 days, we will be on the road to Arizona. And people are popping in. It's very exciting. Penny is here. She wanted to know how excited I was. I told her that I was excited in some ways, not excited in other ways, because I could live here all year round. Doesn't really matter, but I do love my citrus. And Matthew is here. Hello, hello. And look who is here. Blue is here from across the pond. Woohoo! How are you, girl? And Dorothy's popping in. Hello, how are ya? Good, good, good. So much fun. Now, I did a short today, gave just a little update on how my plants are growing that I'm taking down to Arizona. They are on a heat mat, under lights, and so every time I water them now, I'm actually giving them fertilizer, just because I know those roots have to just be packing that little bit of soil that's in those seed snails. So I'm totally excited about that. And I did do a video today that comes out tomorrow. M.A. Sunshine, hello, how are ya? She says, I haven't seen you for a long time. Thanks for stopping in. Yay. So I did a video today, comes out tomorrow. And I did a little short also about it. Now, just because you're a homesteader, even just because you don't have very much money, doesn't really matter. Whatever your reason, you can have beautiful stuff all around you. And so my video that comes out tomorrow, I made this huge bouquet of fall harvest. Everything cost me less than $25. And it's pretty massive. I really like it. And has a little trick so that when I'm ready to take it down, I can literally just wrap it up and it will be perfect for years and years and years. And so I hope you check out that video. It comes out about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so it is 9 days and counting. And because in 9 days, I will be leaving for Arizona. Now, we could leave 2 days early. If it looks like the weather could be a problem, we could leave 2 days early. Not Walmart clearance, but Hobby Lobby 90% off clearance. I actually bought most of the stuff last year. The fall was about over. They had all that Christmas stuff at Hobby Lobby, and so their fall stuff went on 90% off. And so I bought a bunch of stuff, and I've used it a couple times. Master Gardener banquet, I used it, and I had just wrapped it up actually in paper or plastic tablecloths. I just rolled all them and taped them up, and so they've been under my stairs. And so I did one for here, and then I have enough stuff left in that bundle to do another one when I get down to Arizona. So I'm totally excited about that because I love beautiful things, and there isn't any reason, just because you don't have much money, that you can't surround yourself with beautiful things, even if you don't have to buy it. Twigs and fall leaves can just be beautiful. So keep that in mind when you watch that video. But because it's 9 days and counting, I have to start boxing. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have to bring my acrylic paints back and forth, but I do have to bring back my glass. So you can see my shelf. It's very sparse because I wasn't bringing all my fruit down, but I am bringing all my sheets of glass down because I do a lot of fused glass artwork down in Arizona and have a lot of classes down there. So I have started boxing all those things up, and I boxed all the tools up today, and I still have an area right in there that I have to box up later tonight, and then I will have all that done. Then I have to make a decision. because I only have 9 days. Do I want to bring my acrylic paints down? Or do I just want to paint in oils down there because the oils are already down there? I left all the oils down there, which maybe that would be the thing to do. I'll just bring my brushes. So, have to do it. Um, Lobbers, potting soil, weed and feed, grass seed, great clearance. Oh, I was in Walmart today, but I didn't go in the garden section. And so I will check that out because it can make a big difference, because I don't care if potting soil sits all winter long here until I get back in the spring. If you can save multiple dollars, it's a great thing to do. And Charmaine Girl is here. Charmaine, we've only been on for a few minutes, about 6 minutes is all, so you haven't. Penny says, that would be fun class to take to me. I love fused glass art. Me too. It's just so much fun. And so I'm actually, when I get down there in November, it starts every Friday. And I'm calling it Fusing Friday. And I'm just going to have classes all winter long because I usually have 2 a month. But I think I'm just going to try it every month unless there's a holiday. Like I won't have it the weekend of Thanksgiving, things like that. But it should be great fun. And there's just a lot of people that enjoy taking those kind of classes. And so I can do some advertising. And I have a whole list of people that like to take my classes anyway. Oh, Matthew says we went from summer straight to Christmas. Oh no, actually part of Wyoming, not my part, but over by the mountains, they could get up to 18 inches of snow this weekend. 18 inches. Now, we have had spectacular weather for Wyoming. I mean, seriously spectacular. From when we got home till right now, we have had 17 inches of rain, and that is unheard of. And it is just, oh my gosh, the growth on trees has just been spectacular. And so I haven't frosted yet. So if you go back to my live stream or my video that talks about frost, you can guess when my frost date is and the time, and you could win a $25 Amazon gift card because it does not even look like it's going to frost before we leave. And so I can just keep an eye on it, and whoever is the lucky winner, $25 gift card. Charmaine says, Walmart in Idaho sends everything gardening back to somewhere, seeds and all. Interesting. Because our Walmart usually, when it gets to that point of the season, it is really just dropping prices. So I'm going to go over and look at that. Ange, hi Angie, how are you? And she says hi to everybody. I have a homestead question. What cannot go into my compost barrel? Well, that's kind of a matter of opinion. But really, for small scale composting, you should never put anything fat or meat in there. Not because it wouldn't compost. It would eventually compost, but it can really draw in mice and rodents and snakes and things like that. So, but there are big farms that compost in a major way, and they put in carcasses. So it's not like you can't, but you just want to have that mixture that it's more brown, dried things than green things. And there's a lot of people that say a lot of different ratios, but really, I just throw all the stuff in there. And especially my tumbler composter, because I can just turn it every single day and eventually it all composts down into this beautiful compost. Penny says, will there be an online class you in offering it to us as well? Asking for a friend. It's not like I couldn't do an online class of fused glass because I could. It would just be if those people had access, one, to the glass, which I could send, but they would need access to a kiln that would do fused glass. But there could be that could be a possibility. Dorothy says, "Oh, thank you. Trust your opinion." Yeah, for a smaller scale, I just wouldn't put anything fat. I would break things down fairly small because it will compost faster, and no meat products. So, um, yeah, critters. It does. It draws critters, vermin. It's truly trash pandas. Would that be like a raccoon? Angie says, "Don't throw in mint or pumpkins." Well, you can throw those in, and I do, but if there's a lot of seeds in your compost pile next spring, all of a sudden you'll have all these pumpkin plants growing out of there. If you throw the whole mint with the roots in there attached, pretty soon you're going to have mint all growing out of there too. Now, that could be a good thing or bad thing. That's totally up to you. Yeah, raccoons. Yeah, we have a fenced yard, and it used to be that animals could get in, but rarely do I ever have that. Charmaine, that is so kind of you. Thank you. I will use that for my trip. Thank you very much. It's so nice of you. Um, Dorothy says, "Good to know. Thanks, Angie." Yeah, it's not like those things can't work because they can work, but it's, you know, I mean, many times I've thrown squash seeds in there, and then the next year I got squash growing out of my compost. And that's okay or not okay. It's totally up to you. Raccoons love honey buns, by the way. Most people like honey buns too. Joe likes honey buns, but they are tasty. It's true. So I got 9 days left. I'll finish packing up the glass. I just have one little section right over here that I haven't boxed up. I put that over in the corner of the living room, so it's all ready and it's out of my art room. Um, but I gotta still pick my apples and my pears because out of those, I will the best ones of the pears and the apples. I'm just gonna wrap in newspaper, put them in a box, and take them to Arizona. The other ones, I will cut up and put them in my steam juicer to make juice, or I will cut them up, cook them a little bit, and then send them through my food mill, and I will make apple butter and pear butter, and I'll can those because I do love that. It's just so yummy. Have you guys had, what are your feelings? Apple butter or pear butter? Which one do you like better? I found a recipe. Oh, I put it in a box already. I found a recipe yesterday, and it's for apple butter pie. I'm totally excited about that. I love apple butter. My one grandson, Jackson, he loves apple butter. And I'm just totally excited about trying that recipe. Apple butter is Charmaine's choice. Charmaine says, "Best tomatoes I ever grew were in compost pile." Yes, yeah, I've seen that happen too. Poor Joe. He went over to my community garden, and I've had this compost pile that I have just added to, and it sinks down, and I added to it, and over again for probably 3 years. And it was just like overflowing. I had all these plants I had to pull out too, so I didn't want to add those because it's too much green to add right on top. So um, he brought the chipper shredder over. It took him 2.5 hours to chop up all my compost pile. But I spread it all over that garden over there. Just totally excited about it. And a whole bunch of my cover crops, even though I rototilled after I had spread that out, they're all coming up. And then I added some more seed. And then tomorrow I'm going to add a little bit more seed. So it should be just beautiful. Oh, look at this. Apple butter. Apple butter. I love apple butter. Yep, apple butter pie. Who would have known? I would have never thought about that. The recipe looked very simple. So I'll do a video when I'm down in Arizona, and we will make apple butter pie together. It'll be fabulous. Now, with 9 days left, probably about a week or so ago, I did change my mail, telling them what day I needed to change that. Um, I got all the utilities switched off or on depending on where it is. Um, we don't have to turn our electricity off here just because we have freezers and stuff like that, refrigerators. And I don't want the house to get colder than about 55 degrees. So we just set everything at 55 degrees and it's just always been good. But we did turn the water off. Um, I always say that I turn the water off because if I had a squatter that broke into my house, they wouldn't have any water. They'd have to melt snow. No, we haven't had a problem. And my neighbors are so good at watching everything. And our one neighbor boy, he shovels my walk. So we got that all set up. But, and I got like spectrum all changed, everything. It just takes, you just have to have a list of stuff to do. And it's like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't forget something. Would it be the end of the world? No, no. But today I actually changed the water sprinkling because I have a few days because I have it every few days that the water turns on. I did change that to start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because by 7:15 it's pretty dark here. What time is it getting dark at you guys' house? I suppose it just depends on where you are in the country, but it's definitely turned into fall, and I like it. Um, we are taking some coolers down. Last year we took a cooler down just with some stuff in the fridge. You know, we had some milk and mayo and stuff like that, and it worked fine. And you know, since we lost our Reagan this summer, we have some extra room in that middle part, and so I thought, you know, we can just um, put a couple of coolers, and I have a lot of frozen fruit that I've already picked. Oh, Penny says that it gets dark about 6:55 there. Yeah, I mean it's not pitch black at a quarter after 7, but it's definitely darker. And I like it when it's light till 9:30. But that's just the way it is. That's just part of life when you have the seasons. And so, I mean, it'll be different when I get down to Arizona. The time is a little bit different, and we're farther um, to the west, and so that always makes a little bit different too. And I think I always mix this up, but I think when we get down there, we're still on Mountain Standard Time because Arizona doesn't change. And so part of the year when we're down there, we're on Mountain Standard Time, and part of the year we're on Pacific Time. So it's always something I should write it down in my calendar. But I'm pretty sure when we first get down there, maybe it's still the right time. And then it switches. But my brother had given me a bunch of plums that he had grown. They were big plums. And so he had cut them in half for me and taken out the seeds, and he gave me a separate bag for the seeds, and they're in my refrigerator, so they are stratifying. And so I'll plant those when I get back, but I don't know, I'll make plum jelly or plum something. I actually like, have you guys ever done this? I like to make a plum salad and then add tarragon. Now, tarragon is a spice that's kind of like anise, like licorice. But the combination between a plum and tarragon is just like, wow. It's just really incredible and shocking because you really wouldn't think that it would be good, but it was, and it is. And so um, I'll make something. Maybe I might even throw some tarragon in with my jam or jelly. So I think that could be cool. Dorothy says, I keep meaning to make caramel bars. no, no, no. Oh, I'm back. Yay. So that, Joe, I'm on my live stream. Yeah, but he's not on here. Okay. Okay, so can you guys see me now? Charmaine says I'm frozen, but can you see me now? I hope so. Can you see me now? Oh, it's spinning again. No, now. Ah, craziness. Sometimes I just, oh, good. Charmaine says I'm back. Yay. Matthew says, can you hear me now? Yes. I don't know, we went with a different, up here we don't have Spectrum anymore. We still do down in Arizona, but we went with Visionary. And for the most part, it's pretty good. But then it's like, oh my gosh. I think all services have those troubles. Dorothy says, I thought it was my internet. You're good. Oh, it's craziness. So I have, let me tell you what I did this week. In Wyoming, and maybe every state, I'm not really sure because it's probably federally funded. They have this program that it's called Creative Aging Program. And so you can apply, either an entity or an artist can apply to teach these classes. And that you have to be over, I think, 55 to take the class. And then it's free to that senior to take the class. So I applied for 2 different grants. One grant was teaching acrylic painting, and you can choose either a 6-week program and you'll have the same students the entire time that are 2 hours, or an 8-week program that are an hour and a half. I think, and in the grant I wrote, that I would rather do the 6-week with 2 hours, just because it gives people more time to finish the projects. And the whole idea is to get seniors involved with art, because I don't know about all places, but I think a lot of times there's a lot of programs for young people for art, but then people retire, they get older, and some of them have never taken an art class before. And so they came up with this grant. And so I did all of the whole grant writing for the acrylic one that I'll teach at the library if I get it. And then I did the second one as a fused glass class, and same time period. And I will do it down at the art center if they give it to me. So I'm hoping they will, and I think it should be a great class, and fun classes that really can bring. Sometimes art when you're older is like an art desert, and there's just not options for you, or you don't think you could take a class that somebody's offering because you've never done that before. So the whole idea behind these grants are the same 10 people take the class for the entire weeks, and you start with small things, and at the very end they are doing a big project. And so I'm totally excited about that, and I think it should be just fun. So we'll see. I don't know how much money Wyoming has total, and we will see if I get those grants. I will let you know. I will probably know within a month's time if I get them, and I will do them when I get back, starting at the very end of April into June is when I would be doing those. The library is also writing a grant, and I'm just the teacher, but I don't have to write the grant on barn quilts. They're painted and they're on wood, and I would be teaching that. So I could have 3 classes that I'm teaching in the springtime. Penny says, "Oh my goodness, Sandy. I juiced up a bunch of plums and sent to my friend to freeze dry it up. Ooh. And then ran it through the blender to make powder. Oh, it made the best homemade Kool-Aid for me. That is so fun. I can't even tell you how many times I wish I had a freeze dryer. Angie is in the chat. She has a freeze dryer. But there's just so many possibilities. So many possibilities, so little time. Oh, look at, here's a bag from Angie. Freeze-dried peanuts. She calls them Dumbos. Yay. They're kind of hard, though. Where a lot of the freeze-dried candies, they just kind of dissolve in your mouth. But so this is a little bit different texture, and I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. But I'm almost done with all the freeze-dried stuff she gave me, and so I've been savoring these things. But it's 9 days and counting, and we are going a different way this time. Usually, oh yeah, I had Skittles from Angie, but I haven't had Starbursts. Ooh, those could be good too. Usually we go down through Casper, hit I-70, or I-80, not I-70, I-80, and go along the bottom part of Wyoming over to Salt Lake, hit Interstate 15 and just go down. But I get emails every single day because I signed up for it from the state on things that are happening on the roads. And I have to tell you, I-80 this summer has been a death trap. I mean, so many huge wrecks, not just little wrecks. I mean, massive balls of fire wrecks. And I thought, I just don't want to be on there with all that traffic. It's really way too much traffic for the 2 lanes on each side. It really needs to be probably 3 or 4 lanes on each side because there's just so much truck traffic. And I just don't want to. So we're going to go down past Casper. We're on Interstate 80 for just like 20 miles. And then we're going to go down to Craig, Colorado, Grand Junction. And then we're going to take 70 over to I-15. It might take a little bit longer, but we don't have to be in a hurry. So I'm totally okay with that. And, oh, Matthew says that the flavor's intense after freeze dried. Yeah, well, Skittles are just like they pop and they're just so fun. And not that I should eat a lot of candy, but it's still fun to just once in a while just pop those things in your mouth just because. I mean, they're totally not good for you, but I don't care because I eat good. I eat well. And so I figure if I want to have some of that stuff once in a while, it's okay. But I think I am really, I am excited to go down there. The best part of going down there, there's several. One, I get a garden twice a year. Joe says it's like having 2 summers. I have my citrus trees down there, and I can't even tell you, there is nothing in the world to compare when you pick off a completely ripe orange, especially my navel oranges, and you just peel it and eat it. It is just like the flavor is unbelievable. There isn't an orange in a grocery store that will ever taste like that. We do live next to my mom and dad, my dad being 94, my mom's 88. So we get to do stuff with them. And Joe gets to golf basically all year round because he can. And he plays cornhole and he bowls and he thinks it's great fun. And I mean, it's fun, but I could just as easily stay here all the time, because I always have things to do. But look it is already 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys coming in. I do. Um, Next week, my topic is, are you ready for some fun? And that's all I'm saying about it. You have to be in the live. Okay? I will see you next time, guys. Thanks for